I sold my innocent picture to a stock image site for £50 and now I'm the face of bestiality. Having your picture taken might seem like one of the most innocent things in the world. But what happens when those pictures end up in places you hadn't and #X27 even imagined, such as alongside an article declaring how you and #X27 returned on by orgies with fat, old men, or holding a placard saying you and #X27 re-a-sex offender. Becoming the poster boys and girls for such causes is a far cry from where those posing for inoffensive stock images, used in newspapers, magazines and adverts when no suitable pics are available, believe they and #X27 end up. This week, a Twitter thread went viral after stock models shared their accounts of the hilarious and surprising campaigns they had been linked to, following at Marley Bennett joke that he looked like the model on a tobacco warning label. Here, they share their faces and #X27, bizarre final destinations. With the benefit of hindsight, accepting this modeling job was definitely a mistake. Pic.twitter.com/fekwex3f First to respond was Yerkiviko, who was surprised to find his photo on an article about bestiality last year after uploading the image to a stock photo site. The 36-year-old product manager told Sun Online, "It was just a photo I and #X27 taken for fun with my parents and #X27 dogs in their backyard about 4 or 5 years ago, and I decided to sell it via an app online to make some extra cash. I was mortified when I saw it on an article about bestiality. It took me a really long time to tell my friends and family what had happened. I would never want to be recognized as that guy by people that had read the article. I hear ya. This is me." Pic.twitter.com/usermugby I was mortified to see my picture on an article about bestiality, but despite the questionable associations, Yerdo Esn and #X27 regret selling the photo. "I love the picture and enjoy seeing it from time to time on other ads," he says. "I could have done without the bestiality story, but it was a minor website and luckily the article is no longer available online, so there and #X27 no real harm done. I wasn't and #X27 sure how to react at first, but today I look at it as a funny turn of events and laugh about it." Nicolo Masriilo, a Spanish writer for Vice, revealed how his stock photos ended up on adverts for booze, milk, the Catholic Church and even paraphimosis, a horrifying penis condition in which the foreskin gets trapped behind the tip of the penis. Following a tricky breakup, Nicolo embarked on an impulsive photo shoot with a mate to try and take his mind off stuff, and signed away his rights to the images without realizing the potential repercussions. He discovered his images had been sold months later when he saw his face on an article about terrorists on a Catholic website. That in itself wasn't and #X27 so bad, but it was then that I realized I had no control over what might happen to my face, he told Vice. In the following months, Nicolo's face was used to promote anything and everything, from gluten-free drinks and Colombian spirits to articles on vindictive exes and jerks at work. Things then went from bad to worse, with Nicolo finding his increasingly popular face on the cover of a book about monsters, an advert for shaving, and, finally, on national campaign about a very serious penis problem in Venezuela. As I was getting up one morning, a friend from Venezuela asked me on WhatsApp if I had or had ever had paraphimosis, a very serious penis issue, he explained. I told my friend that I might have had some issues down there in the past, but that I don't and #X27 remember it being called that. Nico and #X27's friend then informed him that he was the poster boy for paraphimosis in Venezuela. I know I can and #X27 really complain. I was fully conscious when I had those pictures taken and I actively signed away the rights to my face, he says. Still, that does and #X27 mean I don and #X27 rue the day I posed for those pictures. Briefly feeling a little better about myself that day does not compare to the fact I have no idea where my face will show up next. Like many others in her situation, Samantha Ovens and #X27, stock image modeling shots, which were originally taken for a campaign on cold and flu medication, were used for something she could never have imagined. Samantha, who is gay, was out with her friends when she was first alerted to the fact that her face had been used on article, titled, "I fantasize about group sex with old, obese men," on The Guardian and #X27's anonymous sex column. The piece, written in first person, explained how the author, a 31-year-old woman, struggled with fantasies about being passed around by fat, ugly old men. "The thing that really turns me on is the idea of having to lift their stomachs and search for their penises, which are always difficult to find and a bit on the soft side," is just one of the graphic lines in the first paragraph which Samantha's image was next to. Luckily, the successful model, who usually specializes in portraying mums on shoot, found the whole thing hilarious. "I was with my partner and #X27's mum when I first saw it," Samantha told The Guardian later. "I screeched with laughter and said, and #X27 no. You have to see this. And #X27, how can you take it seriously? There are bigger things in this life to get concerned about." In a much more serious case, a British family's image was used on a poster campaign by an Irish group opposing gay marriage ahead of the 2015 referendum, a campaign which they strongly disagreed with. In an anonymous interview with the BBC, the family said they were given a free photo shoot in exchange for allowing the photographer to